starting lineup and just in time for a game against the Spartans team that wants to clash the glass and poses some size, blocks a lot of shots here, Jess.
The second ever meeting between the two programs, last one dating back to November 14th, 2009, with Nebraska winning that one. Nice crowd has filtered in and has braved the elements here on this Saturday afternoon, as it's been snowing all day here in Lincoln, Nebraska. Here we go. Rink mass set to jump for the Huskers, and the Spartans will control the tip and get the first look at it here. Gregory back over to Adkins. And there is Bendiger. He can light it up from behind the arc. 8 on the shot clock. Bendiger working inside, double team, turnaround jumper. That's good.
That's a tough shot right there. So you can see that USC Upstate trying to work early, get a couple down screens, stay away from the baseline where Nebraska wants to trap. And that's a tough turnaround jumper, but I think that's a look that the Huskers will be okay to live with.
Here is Sandford. Out to Mast. Into Lawrence. Kick back out to Butengel for 3. Off the mark. Adkins with the rebound.
And the Spartans are going to want to push here, Jess. They're 108th in tempo in the country. They're going to play at a quicker pace, and that's kind of how you beat this Nebraska team. If you don't want to play a set defense, get up and down the floor in a hurry.
Working inside to Bendiger. There's a double team. Back out to Adkins. Adkins for 3. Too strong over the backboard. Nebraska basketball.
But a confident-looking shot right there by Adkins, and good early movement by USC Upstate. They're not getting stagnant. They're not forcing the isolation as much. Just moving the ball around and seeing in the early going if they can pick apart Nebraska in the defensive set.
Mast here to Sandford. Sandford inside, draws a foul. On the floor, it's on Nick Book. This will be Husker ball out of bounds.
And a good early drive by Sandford. He's known more as a three-point shooter, but he's improved a lot off the bounce in the early going, Jess, and they just want to get him a touch inside.
There's a 3. That is another miss there for the Huskers. Little slow start here. Fans still on their feet. They stay standing until they make their first basket.
And a good early look for Sandford. He's leading the Big Ten like we talked about in three-pointers attempted, and certainly not a shy shooter. If he gets a free look of space, you best expect that he's going to let it fly in a hurry.
Absolutely. Fred Hoiberg gives his shooters that kind of freedom. Book back to Gregory. Gregory pulls the 3. Too strong. And a whistle and a foul inside. Book pushed off there inside.
Like you said, they got Book with the push-off right there, but another good handoff action. And you can see that USC Upstate's bigs are trying to keep Nebraska on their backside so they can free up shooters off of a handoff. And it's a good bit of offense early from Coach Marty Richter's squad.
2 quick fouls for Book, so he'll head to the bench, and Lyric Davis checks in. Lawrence over to Mast. Mast gonna work inside. Oh, nice feed to Butengel and finished. 2-2.
And that's exactly what Rink Mass brings you. The vision to draw the double and then the back cut by Butengel and great patience to wait for the shot blockers to jump by and then go finish.
Nice little floater there by Adkins. 4-2 Spartans.
And he's got a nice touch on the inside as a 6'4" guard, already impressing as a redshirt freshman. He's got a deft touch and he showed it right there.
Butengel to Hoiberg. Hoiberg working inside. Mast is there for the putback.
And Nebraska can get after USC Upstate on the offensive glass. Bottom 60 in the country in opponent offensive rebounds. So you can get after the Spartans on the glass if you so choose.
In and out for Davis. Back the other way. Sandford to Butengel. Butengel working on Davis. Nice move, strong finish inside.
So he feels the lean right there by Davis, and Davis, right as he went to contact, Butengel spins off and goes to the weak side on the glass. That's a good feel by Butengel and already taking advantage of the size disparity they have on the inside.
4 points for Burke here to start this one. Hoiberg pushes back the other way. Here's Butengel. Thought about it. Sandford to Mast. Mast here to Lawrence. Lawrence inside and another whistle.
Well, good decision making so far by Nebraska offensively. Buchton-Gel in transition could have fired up the early look, but instead they slowed it down. They stayed patient. They were able to work through a couple of handoffs, and Lawrence right there gets fouled on the dribble drive. If you stay patient against this USC Upstate team, you can get looks at the rim, and Nebraska doing a great job of that so far, Jess.
So 3 team fouls already for USC Upstate. 3 on the way for Sandford, 2 strong. Atkins pushing quickly back the other way. Gregory pulls it back out. Gets it back here. Spartans working around. There's Atkins. He pulls it. 2 strong. Offensive rebound for Davis. Swinging it around here. Good ball movement by the Spartans. Davis on the baseline drive. 3 on the way, and that's good from Carmani Gregory.
Well, the thing that USC Upstate has to know, the ball moves quicker than any player in isolation can, and they're doing a great job of just getting Nebraska on the back foot in a bad rotation. And right there, Gregory knocks down a good triple early.
7-6 lead for Upstate. You see the 7-footer kept Cohen Collier in for the Spartans. Mast inside and another bucket.
And they're taking advantage of Davis. He's trying to get physical and bump with that inside forearm. And right there, as soon as the bigs feel it, they're spinning off of it. That's good work on the scouting report right there by both Buchton-Gel and now Mast.
Atkins on the drive. Good finish.
Yeah, he went up through the trees, and again, he's got a really deft touch, Jess. When he wants to get in between that 10 to 8 range, he's got a nice touch and a soft touch to kiss it off the glass.
4 points for Atkins. Here's Reese. Mast kick out to Lawrence. Buchton-Gel with the offensive rebound. Huskers get another look at it here. Hoiberg can't get that one to go. Here's Davis. Tyler Smith also in for the Spartans here. Gregory here to Tyler Smith all the way inside. Over to Collier. Kicks it back out. 5 on the shot clock. Atkins again on the drive. Man, Atkins has got it going early here.
Yeah, that's a great job right there playing off 2 feet. He knows he's got 6'9" and 6'10" waiting for him, so he stays patient, uses the head fake, and goes the reverse side to get the bucket. Good early offense by USC Upstate. They are not fazed by Nebraska.
Buchton-Gel, corner 3 on the way. Off the mark. 0 for 5 from 3 to start this for Nebraska. Hermione Gregory draws the foul. We got a timeout on the floor. 13:38 here in the first half. And SC Upstate leading Nebraska 11.
It's a tough cover for a lot of teams that don't run a traditional 3-guard lineup.
And you mentioned Atkins, 48% from 3, one of the best in the country, and also Bendinger also over 40%. So you've got to find those 2 from behind the arc.
Yeah, they're tough covers, and especially if you can draw Bendinger against a 3 where he can beat him off and then come off of a down screen and shoot the way that USC Upstate runs their offense. It's a tough cover to try to answer for Nebraska defensively. Gregory
on the take, kicks out to Tyler Smith. He pulls the 3, rims out. Cale Jacobson pulls down the rebound, who is checked in along with Braden Frager.
Yeah, that's not Smith's game right there. Just 12% from 3 on the year. It's a good open look, but you probably want a higher quality possession if you're USC Upstate.
Mast, pump fake, picks up his dribble. Bounce pass into Lawrence, loose ball on the floor. Spartans come away with it, but throw it out of bounds, so Nebraska basketball.
Yeah, so USC Upstate's wearing black jerseys with some stripes down the side, and I think Skinner diving on the ground might have thought the official down on the baseline was one of his own guys, but nonetheless, great cut, and that's exactly what Smith does. Leads the Big South in steals per game at 2.4, and he's a guy who's active in the passing lanes and gets his hands pretty much anywhere the ball is.
Huskers on the inbounds. Here's Jacobson. In and out. So still struggling to get things going from behind the arc for the Huskers. There's a 3 on the way, and that's good.
That's a tough look right there. Gregory pulled it with no hesitation on the step back. And for Nebraska offensively, if you're going to take three-point shots, if you're going one and out, it's not going to buy you a lot of favors offensively. Got to commit more numbers to the glass and getting inside if they want to take advantage of USC Upstate's lack of size on the interior.
There's another foul on the Spartans. It's inside on the floor, so another inbounds play coming here for Nebraska. Sandford, jumper, short, Spartan basketball.
And just kind of short-armed it right there. It's a good set. They clear Frager through the middle just to get Sandford coming off a down screen, and he just couldn't find the touch.
Gregory, pump fake, step back three. He's got 3 threes.
And they are staying so patient on USC Upstate, not biting at any jumps, not biting at any head fakes. They're just staying solid and playing off the 2 feet. And right now they are getting after Nebraska when they commit to the air.
9-point lead for Upstate. Jacobson over to Lawrence. Lawrence knocks down the Huskers' first 3.
And boy, did they need that one in a bad way. And Lawrence, who's a guy who's shooting above 40% from 3 on the year, he's up to 48% from 3. He finds the distance on that one, and maybe that's what breaks the seal from distance.
17-11, Upstate leading Nebraska. Here is a 3 on the way from Skinner. He knocks down a 3.
And USC Upstate's really opened up the can of worms now. They're 4 of 9. They're shooting 44% from 3, and Nebraska's got to do a better job of committing to contest those on the perimeter.
Nice backdoor cut. And another foul. That was Jacobson. Fouled inside. All right, Arena 1 week from tomorrow. Huskers just outside the top 25, receiving votes. Here's Frager on the drive, draws another foul.
That's a way better job out of the timeout. Nebraska needed to be aggressive going to the rim because when the perimeter is closed off because you haven't hit shots, what do you have to do? You have to find a way to get buckets inside. And what a better way to do that than to give yourself a look from the free throw line.
A lot of times it gets these shooters going when you get to the free throw line.
Especially if you could see 1 or 2 fall. And you can see the early confidence of the net rippling. Then it opens up your offense. Then it allows you to see one go in. It allows your offense to kind of space out a little bit more. So then the driving lanes open up conversely.
Frager, over an 83% free throw shooter, gets that one to bounce in. 10-point lead here for the Spartans.
And for the next 3 minutes, Nebraska needs to lock in, get this to single digits, get it to a 1-possession game, and then do your work from there.
Another aggressive take, and there's the putback by Lyric Davis.
Yeah, and USC Upstate's committing numbers to the glass right now, and Davis was able to sky over a box out from Frager and just get the tip back. And right now, Nebraska has to commit numbers to the glass. They're getting out rebounded by 2.
There's a turnover, and Spartans push back the other way. Extra pass. There's Gregory. 3-2 strong. Loose ball. Still loose ball. And got a jump ball. Good hustle.
Yeah, the possession will go the way of Nebraska, but right now, Jess, it feels like every 50-50 ball, USC Upstate is finding a way to come away with. Long rebound. Hoiberg tries to tap it around. Sandford tries to pass it. It goes through the wickets of Mass, and then again, a great effort diving on the ground right there. That was Kanye Jones, and he stepped up and came up with another 50-50 ball, but it just seems like the aggressive nature and the fight is certainly showing from USC Upstate. They're winning every 50-50 ball that is impossible.
Just out of sorts on the offensive end, and Davis back the other way. Adkins. Over to Gregory. Kanye Jones back out to Adkins. 10 on the shot clock. Atkins inside to Martinez. Back out. 3 blocked by Frager. Good defensive play there by Braden Frager.
That's what he can give you on the defensive end. He covers ground, erases a 3. Now Nebraska has to get a bucket somewhere.
Kick out. Mass for 3. You hear the crowd starting to get into it. Trying to get the Huskers going. That would have unleashed the crowd a little bit.
That would have been a huge momentum swing right there. If Nebraska can find another stop and get a bucket, you got to get this under single digits some way, somehow. Maybe see if you can break the confidence of USC Upstate.
8 on the shot clock. Gregory loses his footing. So here comes Jacobson back the other way over to Hoiberg. Knocked away by Kanye Jones.
Well, right now, Upstate is incredibly physical and aggressive in the passing lanes. Jones goes high hands. He knows the basketball's there, and they're not committing to blocking shots anytime the ball touches the ground. They are poking a hand in there to see if they can jar it loose, and right now it's working more often than it's not, and it's been to their benefit. So right now Nebraska has to figure out a way to protect and value the basketball while also creating a rim pressure threat.
Lawrence for 3. That goes in and out.
A decent look for Jamarcus Lawrence, and it's just not falling right now. So can you string together a stop and get something in transition is now the question for this Nebraska basketball squad.
12-point lead here for the Spartans. 5 minutes left in the first half. 10 on the shot clock. Here's Gregory. Inside. Pass over to Davis. Loose ball. Mass comes away with it.
Well, and again, Nebraska just looks so much more connected defensively now, but the lid has not come off the rim. Can they find a way to get an easy bucket? We'll see what Fred Hoiberg has drawn up for this offensive set.
Sandford over to Mast. Mast goes up strong.
Well, and having that guy on the interior probably helps your inside scoring chances a bunch. They get Mast, and he pins Martinez using his frame on the backside, and that's how he's able to get an easy two. Might have had a case for an and one, but nonetheless, a very physical move by Rink Mast.
10-point lead here for the Spartans. You hear the crowd trying to get into it. Bendinger extra pass over to Gregory. Bounce pass, and there's a whistle inside.
And Lawrence got him from the backside right there. They had Martinez wrapped up, and Lawrence came through his body to try to poke that one away. So that's where the foul's assessed. But nonetheless, much better defensive effort from Nebraska to run shooters off the line and make them go into the teeth of that defense where Mast and Buchtengel and Garcia and some of the other bigs are waiting for him.
Jared Garcia into the game for Nebraska. Gregory inside, draws another foul.
And Garcia got a little flat-footed right there, and Gregory saw the minute that he snapped to his heels, he went right off of his hip, and that's a textbook basketball drive. Then gets into the body of Garcia as he's tailing him to create that contact. That's textbook finishing right there by Gregory to understand the spacing and know where Garcia was to be able to get himself a scoring opportunity.
Gregory misses the front end. Set up to 9 points. It's nearly an 80% free throw shooter. So a rare miss for him.
Yeah, but these are the hidden points that nobody talks about. If they miss a free throw, go 1 for 2, and then Nebraska goes down and gets a bucket, you cut it to a single-digit game just by virtue of that.
And there's a loose ball. Here the Spartans get another look at it here. Kick over. Gregory, pump fake, jumper, in and out. Sandford pulls down the rebound.
Well, you could see every time Nebraska pulls down a rebound, Upstate is in the lane trying to poke and see if they can dislodge the ball and win a 50-50 opportunity. They're incredibly handsy, and right now they're creating some havoc and some extra possessions just off of that.
Jacobson looking to go inside. Out to Sandford. Garcia, and they're trying to get it to Mass. Sandford pulls a 3 at the shot clock expiring.
Well, that'll wake the crowd up. That was kind of a why not shot. 2 seconds on the shot clock. Everything was discombobulated offensively for Nebraska, but Sandford finds the 3, and that's not a guy you can give a blink of space to, and he makes Upstate pay.
Sandford's first bucket. Here's a stop for Nebraska. 7-point lead for the Spartans. Sandford pulls it again, back to back, Pryce Sandford.
And he's the type of guy, Jess, if he sees one go in, just like Frager, just like Connor Asijan before he got injured, they stack up in a hurry, and it feels like now Nebraska's got some momentum. They got it to that under 4, that single-digit mark that they wanted to get to, but under that 4 timeout. And now can they take advantage to close the half is the big question.
6 quick points for Pryce. Sandford cuts it to 27-23 with 2:50 left in the first half. Keep it here on Big Ten Plus. Getting to offense here.
Yeah, and it's a great job. Nebraska finally strung together a couple of stops, and then Sandford is not a guy that you can give any sort of space to. One of the best shooters in the Big Ten, and if he gets a clean look and he sees one fall, he becomes one of the most dangerous players on the floor, if not in the conference. So USC Upstate has to stay disciplined to the scouting report. They let him slip a couple times, and he made them pay in a big way.
Bendinger here with the basketball. Pulls it out. Over to Davis. Kick back out, Gregory. Back to Davis. 8 on the shot clock, loose ball out of bounds. Will stay Spartan basketball.
That's a great effort right there by Jamarcus Lawrence. Saw a loose ball and he immediately pounced on it. A loose dribble right there by Larrick Davis, and it just shows the commitment and the fight out of the timeout to see Jamarcus Lawrence immediately diving for any loose ball he can get to.
5 on the shot clock. Inside to Collier. Mass with a rebound and draws a foul on Collier.
So a great job by Maston Garcia to wall up on the interior. Collier's a low to deal with at 7 feet, but a great vertical contest. He misses the layup, then Mass gets the box out, and a foul 90 feet away from the basket is not something you want to see, especially from your 7-footer. So a great job by Mass to pull that down, and now Nebraska's in the bonus.
Yeah, 18 fouls for Upstate. So Nebraska will be shooting free throws the rest of the way here. Mass gets the first one.
Well, the big thing about this is Nebraska had to stem the tide. A lot of adversity in their face. Shots weren't falling early. USC Upstate started 4 of 9 from 3, so how do you respond? And the response and the veteran leadership ever since then has been superb. Just to string together defensive stop and just find ways to score and cut this down to a manageable deficit.
1 for 2 for Mass. That cuts it to 3. Here's Bendiger on the drive. Garcia with the rebound.
Well, Bendiger's not your typical 6'4 guard. A well-built young man at 6'4 with 200-plus pounds. And
Sandford draws the foul. He'll head to the free throw line.
well, they were wanting continuation right there, but Bendiger went into the body of Mass and a great wall-up. And down in transition, Sandford just gets him again. And it just feels like any time Upstate tries to put any pressure into the backside of a Nebraska player, they are spinning off of that and immediately going to the basket. That's well taught and understanding leverage in attacking and in-post position.
And Sandford with 6 points. Now 7.
Well, he's a guy last year who just shot 62% from the free throw line, but you knew he'd be a better shooter than that. Already up to 89% from the year, so starting to show that true shooter quality a bit more.
8 points now for Sandford. And to that point, again, he's been a guy you've seen being more aggressive getting to the rim, so more opportunities to get to the free throw line. Yeah,
and an 11-0 run here for Nebraska, and if you're a shooter, anytime you can get to the free throw line and see another one go in, that's a big plus for your mentality as Jacobson hits the deck.
3 off the mark. Garcia, another rebound.
And a great job by Garcia. He's giving them energy on the glass with the absence of Berkay Buchton-Gel while he's on the bench. So some decent minutes here from Garcia to help buoy them on the glass.
Huskers have not led since it was 8-7 with over 15 minutes in the first half. There's a tip, a deflection. Jacobson gets the takeaway over to Sandford for 3. Money!
And he is so good at finding the spot in transition and spotting up and getting a clean look. A heady play by Jacobson to get a free look and stop in transition. Sandford the trailer, and they find him immediately. It's a jump stop by Davis. Great hands by Jacobson in the passing lane, and then all he knows to do is find the open shooter, and Sandford makes Upstate pay as the Huskers have their first lead since 8-7.
29-27, 3 threes for Sandford. 1:20 left here in this first half, and you've talked a lot about it, but I guarantee you, again, the messaging will be the same from Coach Hoiberg, but getting things going from the defensive end to open things up on the offensive end.
And that is what they are at their core, is commitment to the defensive identity. They want to have deflections. They want to create turnovers. They want to be solid and close teams off and not allow them extra possessions. The big difference here now between the start of the game, Jess, is that Nebraska's done a better job getting on the glass and taking away some of the extra offensive rebounds and the extra possessions and looks that USC Upstate was grabbing for themselves. Now that they're closing off the glass and Upstate's going one and done, it's allowing them to get into their transition state and create better attacking opportunities without having to sacrifice points.
Sandford into double figures. He's got 11. Bendinger inside, short. Jacobson again. He's everywhere.
Well, and he's covering ground right now, and that's exactly what Nebraska needed. They were getting beat because some guys weren't rotating quick enough in the early going, and now the intensity defensively has ramped up for Nebraska, and it is showing in a major way here on this 15-2 run.
So here off the inbounds play, Gregory working on the baseline. Inside to Martinez, kick out, 3 on the way, short. Sandford with the rebound. Lawrence pushing back quickly the other way to Garcia. Good hustle play there by Davis to recover.
Well, Garcia had bad intentions right there. He was ready to cock one back and see if he could go put somebody on a poster, and instead Davis made sure that he erased that opportunity. Good hustle in transition to not give up a potential highlight.
Lob to Mast, left the inbounds, and one.
That's great awareness. That's a veteran player understanding that the lob's behind him. He might have a guy trailing, so he waits and plays off of 2 feet. It's a good set. Mast, if the lob's right there, probably has an easy 2. Instead, he waits, and Martinez is draped over the back. All he has to do is lean into him, create the contact, and finish from a tight angle.
So Mast with 9 points. Megaten, he's into double figures. 32-27, Nebraska with the lead. 47.6 left here in the first half.
And again, it all starts from the intensity picking up on the defensive end and turning that into offensive success, and that's where Nebraska's really turned this around.
Bendinger can't get the jumper to go. Another rebound for Garcia.
He's got 4, and he's tied for the team lead right now, and he has been big at closing off Upstate from the glass. The Spartans are really trying to create second chance opportunities, and Garcia not allowing them to do that has catalyzed this 17-0 run.
Jacobson trying to work it inside to Mast, but it's knocked out of bounds off of Nebraska.
And so now for Upstate here, how do you create an opportunity to score? It's a good dump down and nice hands by Adkins, and again diving for that 50-50 rebounding. All phases came together to give Nebraska a 17-0 run, and they gave USC Upstate some of the best in the Big Ten.
Upstate will get the ball here to start the second half. Trailing by 2, here's Bendinger, and a quick whistle inside. Jamarcus Lawrence, his 3rd foul.
And that's something that Nebraska doesn't want to see. You don't want your starting point guard getting into foul trouble early, and you know, USC Upstate's going to try to get inside the lane. That's their offensive identity, so you got to make sure that you're keeping your hands by your side and trying to create turnovers in the passing lanes like they tried to do there.
Nebraska almost had a turnover, but there was Carmelo Adkins there for the jumper.
And he's got a soft touch, and with this game leveled, Nebraska's going to have to come out and execute at a high level because Upstate is not going away anytime soon.
Adkins up to 8. Step back 3 for Lawrence, short. Butengel with the offensive rebound. Lawrence, free elbow jumper, too strong. Butengel, another rebound. Bounce pass into Burkane, over to Ringbass, pump fake, up and one.
And that entire possession right there is created because Berke Butengel is relentless on the offensive glass. Chases down a first long rebound, then he gets a second one, and then the drive and the dish to Rink Mast, who is a mammoth inside to deal with, to get the and one. All of that's created because of the aggression and intensity on the glass of Berke Butengel.
Huskers got out-rebounded in the win over Winthrop, and Hoiberg talked about that. They did not have Burke Butengel, and that was a big reason why Butengel up to 5 boards.
Yeah, he's really helped them on the glass and trying to get them. He bought them 2 extra shots there, and it turned into 3 points, and that is something that Marty Richter is going to be furious about. That's a scouting report thing that you cannot allow to happen.
Atkins out to Gregory for 3. Sandford tracks down the rebound.
And this is where Nebraska's got to push this. Find a bucket and give the Spartans some doubt on the defensive end.
Sandford, screen, jumper, strong. 35-32 Nebraska.
And a great job by Upstate right there to force Sandford into that tweener jumper. Not a shot he's super comfortable with, even though he's a pretty good shooter. Anytime you're giving up mid-range shots, I think you're okay to live with that.
Gregory on the drive, kick out to Atkins, top of the key, knocks it down.
So they force Nebraska into a mid-range and then get a drive and a wide-open 3. That's good basketball right there by the Spartans.
Sandford, nice take.
Well, the pace is really ramped up right here, and Sandford, all he needed was the blow-by, and his finishing has improved a lot since his time at Iowa, and he's able to go kiss that one off the glass to give Nebraska a 2-point lead.
Sandford up to 13. Kick out. 3 on the way from Gregory. There's another rebound from Sandford. Quickly up to Lawrence. Lawrence inside, off the glass.
That's an advanced bit of finishing right there by Jamarcus Lawrence. Funky finish with the same foot, same hand, and he just has a soft enough touch to kiss it off the glass.
3 on the way. There's Hoiberg with the board. 39-35 Nebraska. Sandford pulls a deep 3, knocks it down.
Well, he picks up right where he left off, and Nebraska playing with great pace in transition. They are hunting open shots. They get 2 layups from Sandford and Lawrence and then turn it around while everybody's collapsing to the paint. Hoiberg finds Sandford, and again, a scouting report mistake from Upstate to leave Sandford with a wide open 3 and a great trail and a find, and Sandford picking up right where he left off in the first half.
4 3-pointers for Sandford, 4 of 6 from behind the arc. He's up to
27-18, and that's been a big factor for why this run and why this lead has been built up the way that it has. The commitment to the glass, the commitment to the defensive end has given Nebraska the much-needed identity boost to start the second half.
And in case you missed it, big news of the day that the Huskers will be without Connor Sejan for the remainder of the season. He suffered an injury in the win over Winthrop, and so when you show Braden Frager, he's going to be a key part of filling that role of Sejan off the bench.
Yeah, and it also helps when Pryce Sandford decides to take the lion's share of the shooting, and he's shooting it at the clip that he is. That certainly helps your offense to even out with the loss of production that a Sejan gives you.
Offensive rebound for Upstate here. Martinez gives the Spartans another look at it here.
Yeah, Martinez is athletic at 6'9", leads the Big South in blocks per game with over 2, and he's a big reason why they're able to get extra opportunities because of the athleticism and the versatility he can give you at 6 feet 9 inches, and he gives them an extra opportunity, and Smith's going to see if he can pay it off at the free throw line.
Here's Tyler Smith, 6-foot junior guard, transfer from Trinity Valley Community College. Leads the team in assists and steals. Misses the first one here.
Well, Trinity Valley's a pretty good JUCO program, and for Smith, he leads the Big South in steals per game at 2.8, and he's part of that giving the Spartans the extra possessions with the offensive rebound, the blocks, the transitions, and the steals are all those hidden margins that turn into real points on the other end into the offensive set. And he's part of that identity of playing fast and trying to create extra possessions that Marty Richter's tried to instill in this Spartan squad in year 2.
Butengel here at the top of the key, back to Jacobson. Sandford, another 3 on the way. No good on that one. Heat check.
A decent look off of the curl, but I thought the Spartans did a lot better job right there to try to throw a hand in his face and see if they could alter the shot a bit. And it certainly might have flattered Sandford enough to where he was off the mark with that one. And now Frager for Butengel. Gotta think that Fred Hoiberg's probably going with a lineup that again can cover some more ground with Larry Davis checking in for the Spartans.
Bendiger picks up his ball, picks up his dribble. Sandford takes it away. Here's Jacobson. Nice take and finish.
Well, he had a 1-on-2 right there, so he had to win the foot race against the first defender. Then he sees the second, and he knows all he has to do is get to his dominant side. Euros to that left-hand side, uses his body to get an angle to the glass and finishes for 2. And that's all started on the defensive end with Sandford's active hands.
Here's Vinegar. Jumper, drains it.
And boy, it's a pretty looking stroke when he decides to let it go. Bendiger at 6'4". He's got the athletic build like we talked about, but he's also got a pretty decent looking stroke, and you can see why he's been in double figures his past couple contests.
Jacobson working inside. Kicks out to Frager, back to Sandford. 10 on the shot clock. There's the screen. Bounce pass inside to Mass. That's easy. Make it look easy. Sandford and Mass with the pick and roll.
And that is a brick wall that Rink Mass just set. I mean, that'll clean a guy out and send him to the hospital for a couple days. A great screen, and then he rolls off of it hard to get himself an easy 2, and that's all created because he's willing to do the dirty work setting the ball screen.
Gregory with the take, strong. Jacobson tracks it down.
Well, Jacobson's given Nebraska a big boost. Covering ground, hitting the glass, active in the passing lanes, and running in transition, all things that are helping Nebraska's pace and intensity.
Jacobson out to Frager, pump fake. Back to Jacobson. 10 on the shot clock. Hoiberg takes it inside, bounce pass, or trying to get it to Mass, but taken away. Here's Davis. And Sandford with another big defensive play.
Well, a great job by Davis to get his hands down low and disrupt the pass, but an even better job by Sandford to wall up and use his length to take away that layup opportunity.
Mass 3 off the mark. Kick over to Gregory, extra pass to Vinegar. And on the drive, draws the foul.
Great job by Bendiger. He plays off 2 feet, uses the head fake, and we did some turnovers. They've gotten some steals, gotten some blocks, 1 extra possessions, and most importantly, they're starting to win 50-50 balls and just find ways. So when shots aren't falling, how do you win? Nebraska's doing it the dirty way.
Vinegar over to Gregory at the shot clock buzzer, and big rebound inside. There he is, Lyric Davis.
And he's been an effort player for SC Upstate all day, winning an extra possession on the offensive glass. Just out jumps 2 Nebraska guards to go win the Spartans an extra look offensively.
Gregory working on Jacobson. 2 on the shot clock, knocked out of bounds. Nebraska basketball.
Well, that's 2 really good defensive sequences from Nebraska right there. So they cut down the shot clock the first time and force a long heat from Gregory. The second time they're able to get a strip, and Jacobson again everywhere and getting his hands involved on the driving and the passing lanes, and he has made life really difficult for SC Upstate. There's a reason both these teams are on 2-minute-plus scoring droughts.
Mass working at the top of the key. Here's Jacobson. Out to Garcia for 3. Fires in off the mark.
And again, not a bad look for Garcia, but Nebraska just not able to break the seal offensively. You got to wonder when they start going inside, try to find a paint touch to just see one go in and give them a little bit of breathing room.
Atkins, kick out. Atkins for 3. Off the glass, almost went down.
Yeah, that would have been a nice bit of fortune for SC Upstate to see that one bank in.
Garcia stuck with it.
Well, and eventually if you keep shooting them, one's got to fall, and Garcia's a confident shooter. And he was at Tulsa, even though the percentage didn't reflect it. He will stretch the floor willingly, and right there in transition, got his feet set, played with composure, and he was able to find a 3. And now it looks like Hoiberg and Gregory are both shaken up after their meeting of the minds.
And the foul will be called on Hoiberg. 16 fouls for the Huskers. Garcia will head to the bench, get a breather.
And him and Jacobson have given Nebraska some good minutes. Garcia's got 10. Jacobson's leading the team with 25 right now. So some great minutes off the bench, with Lawrence a little shorthanded and losing a season for the rest of the remainder of the season.
Atkins over to Gregory. Gregory, step back three on the way. Too strong. Rebound, Jacobson.
Well, it's a great job defensively by Nebraska. They're limiting all the off-ball activity, and they're forcing SC Upstate to play iso ball and be stagnant. The best part of SC Upstate's offense was when they were getting the ball moving. Right now it's not moving, and that's really helping Nebraska defensively.
Huskers working it around here. Frager, again, very physical defense. Mass, three on the way. He hits the deck.
He got cleaned out after that, and the ref's letting him play a little bit now. So how do you handle the physicality? The team who does it the best will make out the best on this little stretch here.
He's very physical. Baseline drive inside to Bendiger. Up and in.
Well, that's a good physical move. You play off 2 feet and you elevate, and he led the Spartans with 19 points, and he's got, like you said, double digits in his last 3 games, and he's given them a spark and a point where they didn't really find anything offensively.
Frager had it knocked away. Spartans back the other way. Atkins can't get the lay-in to go.
And right now, it is more important than ever with the referees putting the whistle in their mouths a little bit and letting both teams play to play physical and value the basketball. And both teams are going to have to do that at a high level if they want to be successful.
What a pass from Mass to Jacobson.
Well, that's what it gives you. When you can pass it like that and dish the pill at 6'10" like he can, he is an incredibly tough guard, and it makes Nebraska's offense incredibly difficult to handle.
Bendiger over to Atkins. Atkins back to Bendiger.
Jess, you see how stagnant they are. Nebraska's isolating them, and they are taking some tough shots. That's a big floater right there by Bendiger, but they are not getting high-quality looks off of movement.
Bendiger up to 13 to lead the way once again for the Spartans. 4 minutes left in the second half. Sandford, three on the way. He's fouled.
That was a bad closeout right there by Gregory. He just ran through the shooting hand of Sandford, and I get you want to contest high hand right there, but he goes up into the shooting pocket, and that's a pretty easy call for any official. And right now, after this timeout, we'll see how both teams handle the physicality that's set to come their way over this last stretch.
All right, timeout on the floor, 56-47. Nebraska leading SC Upstate here on Big Ten Plus.
7 points on just 35% shooting from the field. It's been a high-level defensive performance from the Huskers, and when they haven't done it pretty, they've done it gritty, and it hasn't been a masterpiece or a Picasso on the offensive end by any means, but defensively, they are doing the dirty work to make sure that this one stays a Nebraska advantage.
Pryce Sandford with 16 points and 7 boards. This is the first one. The game after he had 8, which is a season high, most since he's been a Husker. 8 rebounds in the win over Winthrop.
I think for Sandford, he would like to get a couple of these, stretch this lead to double digits, see if Nebraska can start piling on.
17 now for Sandford, and he was fouled, shooting a three-pointer just before the timeout. He goes 2 for 3.
That's a decent trip right there for Pryce Sandford. Now, the thing to note with 3 minutes left is SC Upstate only has 1 timeout left. So if they get in a tight jam, you can't really burn it if you have to use it. So they're going to have to be smart in valuing the basketball and not putting themselves in dangerous scenarios.
Bendiger working inside. He's had a big second half. Turnaround. And rims out.
And right now, Nebraska is switching everything defensively, at least on the perimeter. Any dribble, handoff, any screen, they are trying to hedge or switch, and it's making the ball stay stagnant for SC Upstate.
Sam Hoiberg to the rim, and 1.
And sometimes when they are overplaying you on the perimeter as a defender, you just got to put your head down and go, and that's exactly what Sam Hoiberg does. Larry Davis overextends with the reach, and Hoiberg gets a step, and then all he has to do is blow by. Davis gets him on the arm, and he's got an opportunity for the old-fashioned three-point play.
And he does. Gets it. 61-47 Huskers.
Well, it's crucial down the stretch. How good can you be as a free throw shooting team? Nebraska 71% right now from the charity stripe. If you can convert most of those, especially in tight games, that tends to benefit you as you go through the course of a season.
Gregory, elbow jumper. Sandford, 8 rebounds. That matches the season high.
He's kind of done it all. He's gotten in the passing lanes. He's got himself a block. He's gotten to the rim. He shot it, and he's really helping them out in multiple different areas.
Here comes Upstate. Inside and out of bounds. Stay Spartan basketball.
And now Nebraska's flying around defensively. Frager and Hoiberg both back there to try to intercept that pass. And with the way that Nebraska's covered ground in this second half, it has made life tough going to the rim for SC Upstate. And right now, they've got to find a way to get themselves an easy look and settle them down. 3
on the way is good from Gregory.
That's a good look to settle you down right there. Off of the inbound, you get a corner 3 from a screen, and for Gregory, he's been shooting it pretty confident, and why not let one fly, especially when you're trying to drag yourself back into this game.
So the Spartans' big 3 all into double figures. Sandford inside, kick out, Frager fires and hits.
Well, and he was off balance, and he's been quiet all day, so you were wondering when he was going to enter his name into the score sheet again, and just takes the first look he gets from an open one and is able to find that 3.
Martinez tough inside.
First points of the day for Martinez, and Mast, Bucht, and Jalen Garcia have done a great job keeping him quiet all day and keeping him away from the glass. So job well done, but right there Martinez makes sure that his name's entered into the scorer's book.
12-point lead inside. Again, another nice feed from Mast to Jacobson.
That's a high-level pass right there, Jess. Just puts enough air on it so that Jacobson can run under, and he does a great job using his body to seal a guy and go take one.
And Jacobson, the steal and finish. He's got a smile on his face.
And he ran through right there. I mean, you could read that one if you were in Greenwich, England. He just went through in the passing lane and intercepted that one like a DB. You could flash it back to Tommy Hill against Colorado last year. Jumps in the passing lane and just picks one off and takes it back for 2.
5 steals. So again, he had a career high. His career high was 3. Oh, he's up to 5.
Well, now and him and Sandford are tied for the team lead in minutes. They've both played 30-plus in this one, and they have given some much-needed lift offensively and defensively for the Huskers. And talk about an offensive lift, boy. I'll tell you what, Carmani Gregory has had himself a pretty good day shooting the basketball, but he's also managed the tide offensively, driving to the rim.
By the way, Nebraska's lowest outing of the season is 69 points. Average 86, over 86 a game, so well below the season average. 1:25 left here in the second, 68-54. Here comes the full court pressure. Huskers break it no problem. Hoiberg pull it back out. And back inside. Bounce pass out to Mast, corner 3. Rims out.
A pretty good look right there for Mast, but you might be thinking, I know he wants to shoot the open one, you might be thinking take a little bit more time off the clock just so they don't have a chance to come back. And a big shot right there by Gregory drags this thing back to 11. I tell you what, he's 5 of 11 from 3, and he has really buoyed this offense when they haven't had an answer at times.
Yeah, with 1:02 left in the second half, that cuts it to 68-57. Gregory up to 17 points.
Yeah, and it's been an ugly day for SC Upstate offensively, but Carmani Gregory, for a guy who came in shooting only 28% from 3, he's 5 for 11 tonight, and he has really helped them in a big way with not only the perimeter spacing, but also his ability to dribble drive and create for others. He's helped them in that way as well. He's up to 4 assists on the day. And he's kind of buoyed this offense, like we talked about, Jess, when they haven't had an answer against Nebraska's length and activity on the defensive end. So an A+ on the day for Carmani Gregory.
Certainly has not been the prettiest offensive performance by the Huskers, but it's been a very physical, just kind of ugly, grinded out game for Nebraska. And you got to find ways to win some of those sometimes.
Yeah, and the game's reflected the weather. It's not pretty in either fashion. And so sometimes you have to answer the question, how do you win this one when our primary source of offense isn't falling the way that we want it to? They haven't hit the 3 ball at the clip that they wanted. They're only shooting 27% from 3, below their season average, even though they've been able to huck up 30 of them. So how do you find a way? Well, they've won the battle on the glass, 42-34 so far. They've got 8 steals on the ball game. They've forced 1 more turnover from USC Upstate, and they've been able to get extra possessions when they've needed them. So a job well done defensively for Nebraska to hold an opponent under 60.
62 seconds left in this one. Again, 11-point game. Here comes the full court pressure from the Spartans. Jacobson to inbounds, gets it into Mast. Double team, and taken away. Skinner fires a 3, he hits.
Well, and you probably don't want your 5-man coming up that high, and anytime he gets trapped, you got to make sure like it does right there. But right now with the way that SC Upstate's shooting the ball, you don't want to give them a chance to come back and go get one.
8-point game. And here comes the foul.
And a great job, good awareness by Sandford right there. Sees the double, so he knows he has a crease to step through, and he does so, and while doing that, keeps his head upright so he can draw possible contact to the head or neck area, and that's a really advanced job by Sandford, just to understand that he can step through and still get contact right there.
Huskers will need to seal it from the free throw line here today. Sandford first one up and in.
And for all the shooting woes that they've had, Nebraska's not been bad from the charity stripe today. They've hit 11 of 15, it's good for 73%, so you can give them a better mark in that area than you would for the rest of the offensive performance.
Sandford, 20 points, his fourth 20-point game of the year.
And they've needed every single one of those points. He has buoyed this offense when they have not had a big answer. Wow, what a big shot by Gregory.
Another three, cuts it to 7, and again, full court press. Timeout, Nebraska.
And Fred's got 3 to burn. SC Upstate's out of timeout, so all you have to do is value the basketball. Just win by hook or by crook right now. That's the big answer. You're not going to cover a 30-point spread in one shot, so you might as well value the basketball and just get out with a win, no matter how ugly it looks.
70-63, 33 seconds left here in this ball game.
Well, these are the kind of character-building games, Jess, that help define a season. You know, a lot of teams can look at these games, and some might fall in games where not a lot is going their way offensively, and they face adversity, and it's a rough uphill battle and bad weather, and the motivation could really not be there. But the discipline of this Nebraska squad to stick to it and find a way to win, get creative in scoring, find ways to win the battle on the glass, create turnovers, and lock it down defensively. You certainly have to be impressed with how Nebraska's just found a way to gut this one out. They've got 70, and they haven't even shot the 3-ball particularly well.
Carmine Gregory has 20 as well for the Spartans, and they get it inbounds, and another takeaway. Here's another 3, but pump fake. Gregory, 3 on the way. I believe Jacobson got a piece of it. So out of bounds off Nebraska. Shot clock is off, 22.5 seconds left in this one.
And SC Upstate's pressure has really caused Nebraska problems, and right there, Mast has to do a better job of valuing the basketball. Don't bring it low where you can hand it off to a guard. Get it high and chin it and take care of the basketball so that you can't possibly turn it over.
Gregory, another 3, that one off the mark. And loose ball inside. And they're going to say out of bounds off Nebraska.
Yeah, I think Mast was out of bounds when he corralled it, but right now you have to be assignment sound on the glass. Everybody in white has to find a body in black and make sure that they seal them off. And Berke Buchtengel's going to check back in, and I don't blame Fred for going with the substitution. Probably a better positional rebounder than Rink Mast. You want a guy who's going to be solid on the glass, and right now every rebound and every ball is of the utmost importance.
And Hoiberg knocks that one out of bounds.
A good hand by Sam Hoiberg. Gregory, if he gets a peek of space, is going to fire it up with the day that he's had. So understanding the situation, great job by Sam Hoiberg just to make sure that his hands were sound.
Gregory again, he's going to fire. Misses everything. Frager pulls down the rebound. And foul on Lyric Davis.
A great job by Frager. He got stripped last time coming out of the pack. So what do? You cover it up with 2 hands like a fullback going through the hole, and you make sure nobody can take it away from you. A great job by Frager to value the basketball and understand in a tighter game like this, you don't want to give away possessions. Now he's got to go clinch it at the free throw line.
5.7 seconds left in this one. 70-63 Nebraska. Frager knocks down the first one. He's up to 10.
And it's been ugly for Nebraska, but they've been able to find offensive rebounds, hit free throws, and get layups in transition when they need them. And really, you can say, Jessica, that that's been the big difference.
Frager gets the second one. So the 4th Husker into double figures. 9-point lead for Nebraska. 5 seconds left. Here's Gregory, quickly back the other way. Puts up another one, and there's the buzzer. That will do it. 72-63, the final. Huskers move to 8-0 on the season. It wasn't pretty, but found a way to get it done here again today.
Yeah, you